A hunter's movement is what makes them deadly. From their various jumps to their dodge ability, being able to outplay opponents or survive bad situations. This is what makes them a deadly class in the Crucible. But what if I told you that top tier players are doing something that you're not doing? Welcome back, guys. I'm BRAVExHERO, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about advanced hunter movements that top tier players are using to make incredible plays. They're using them to win 1v3 situations. They're using these advanced movements to take their gameplay to another level. But before we get into each movement, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by watching the entire video and sharing it with your friends. Both are free ways to support the channel, and if you enjoyed the video, feel free to click that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. But let's do a quick rundown of the basics that top tier players are using. Let's begin with the preferred jump method that these 1% players are using. I personally use the double jump, but a few months back I was introduced to the strafe jump and I was sold. I never went back to the double jump. But what sold me on the strafe jump? For starters, your hang time is minimal if used properly. I've stated in the past that if you are in the air too long, there's a high probability that you will die by either someone sniping you out of the air or being team shot to death. Another reason that makes strafe jump superior is jump distance. With strafe jump, your ability to cover more ground quicker can help you keep the momentum in any Crucible match. If you are using momentum to steamroll a team, being able to traverse a map quickly will greatly benefit you. You can do that with strafe jump. Lastly, one of the major things that strafe jump brings to the table is your ability to change directions in the air. Being able to change your direction mid-air can help you throw off any enemy that is trailing you. Now, moving on into the final basic mechanic, the dodge. What dodge are top tier players using? Well, if you aren't using Gambler's dodge, you are not really taking advantage of the best dodge ability the class has to offer. I can't really compare the two dodges since Marksman dodge is great for reloading, but since we have random rolls on weapons, we can just use reload perks, which really makes Marksman dodge irrelevant in my opinion. But the best option is Gamblers, which in the end is great for boosting your play potential. One of the best benefits you get from Gambler's dodge is the ability to take risks that other classes can't, from peeking lanes that are contested to engaging and disengaging with a matter of seconds. These are things that Titans and Warlocks can't do, and what hunters have going for them is going to be their Gambler's dodge. Now that we have the basic jump and dodge mechanics out of the way, let's get into the advanced movements, the movements we've all been waiting for. So getting into the first advanced movement, we're going to have what I like to call the jumping speed mechanic, which we will be using this tactic in an offensive and defensive manner. So how does one go about using this technique? For hunters, you have a vertical jump. If you activate your vertical jump in an area where the ceiling is low, you can negate the full effect of your jump, and it can spring you down towards the ground, in which you can reactivate your jump and repeat this process over and over. I know, guys, sounds complicated, but let's go into the demonstration. With the demonstration playing in the background, see how I can cover ground a lot quicker? I can go from point A to point B really quickly. But how does this benefit me? In trials or survival, getting into a snipe lane before an enemy is a huge advantage. I know some of you may be thinking,
Brave, does this work on all maps or only certain maps?
Listen here, my deep voice friend. It works on all maps with low ceilings. Even if a small texture in the map, you can use that to spring yourself down. It'll work. See how I can use this on Wormhaven? Look at this. I'm on Wormhaven. Look how quickly I can get to one side of the map. That little ledge right there helped me boost my speed. See how I got up on that box? I was closer to the ceiling. That helped me activate my jump method higher to the ceiling, which sprung me back down to the ground. There are so many areas on every map that you could use to your advantage. One thing I highly recommend players to do is start remembering low ceilings on specific maps. The reason for this is that you want to have a plan of attack or escape. I see a lot of players not using this jump mechanic as a way to escape bad situations. Have you ever tried outrunning a Warlock with Icarus Dash? If you use this jump mechanic, it's 100% possible. You need to know which ceilings are going to help you activate this jump speed mechanic. Remember, guys, when in doubt, bounce your head off the ceiling and get moving. Now let's move on to what I like to call the suspended jump. in which you fake going a certain direction to either escape or re-engage your target. With this suspended jump, if done properly, you can either completely fool your enemy, which will give you time to survive and make a play, or you can use this as an opportunity to re-engage and capitalize on that opportunity and eliminate your enemy. So let me demonstrate this in a controlled environment. When you are close to an edge, you want to activate your dodge ability. This will allow you to dodge down. When you see yourself moving in that direction, you want to activate your jump and re-engage. As you can tell on screen, guys, when you dodge down, you reactivate your jump. This is what I like to call the suspended jump. This is going to allow you to change your momentum from one direction down back to the other direction. By utilizing this technique right here, this tactic, your enemy will either commit to chasing you mindlessly, which you can easily secure the kill by turning on them, or they're going to try to cut you off, and when you reactivate your jump, you have just broken your enemy's ankles and given yourself a chance to survive that engagement. Now, you can use this tactic in any location that has a ledge. This tactic works extremely well when you're getting chased. The reason for that is because your enemies will overcommit to securing a kill. In any game mode, when an enemy deals damage to you, they get what I like to call tunnel vision, and they want to go for that sweet kill. So they're going to chase you down, and by activating the suspended jump, you're going to dodge down and you're going to just turn on them. You're going to jump back up at them, and I'm telling you right now, they're not going to expect it. This is what those top tier players use. By using this, you're going to catch your enemy with their pants down. They're going to be like, what the heck, this guy just came back at me. They're going to think you're cheating. Simple as that. But what really makes this tactic work so well, it's the hunter's jump. The hunter's jump is deadly. It's due to the hunter's jump and its activation method. Being able to activate your jump at any time and shift your momentum makes this tactic deadly. Remember guys, it's as simple as this. Dodge down, jump up, get the win. Do keep in mind that this tactic only works on specific maps and in certain spots, but if you perform it correctly, you will get the jump on your enemy. Next, now I normally never interrupt my videos, but this was a great BRAVExHERO teaching moment. The next two kills you'll see, I'm going to replay the footage again. You'll notice I used the head bounce method to get the advantage on my enemies. Again, I will be breaking this down again in a slow motion method, and just look on how fast I can engage my opponents. So breaking it down, I do damage to this enemy. I do 2 critical shots. They can be easily cleaned up. I bounced my head right here and ended up getting the advantage on them. I was able to close the gap at a very quick speed. Even though I missed my shotgun shot, I was there to close the gap with a melee. Now moving on into this next one here, I end up reloading my handgun. I move up to the top of the stairs. I recognize on my radar an enemy is approaching. I have the advantage already. I already have the advantage from having a higher ground against them. I realize this, I jump, I use the head bounce method. It sprung me down towards the ground at a fast motion, and I was able to capitalize at that moment. Hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown. If you want more, just let me know. Other than that, back to the original video. We are moving into a tactic for my M&K and controller players who play on a 10 sensitivity. When any hunter activates their dodge, it's pretty predictable on which direction they will be dodging towards. But with this tactic, the tactic I like to call the spin dodge, you can really disorient and confuse your enemy, causing them to lose tracking on you. And the reason for that, in a basic dodge, when you dodge a certain direction, your enemy knows when you're going to stand back up. They can continuously fire at you. But with the spin dodge, you can confuse them and extend your life for a tad bit longer, or allow you to capitalize on the kill. So let me go ahead and demonstrate what the spin dodge is. This is how it looks. Pretty confusing, right? Now let's look at it again from an enemy's perspective. Now try tracking that. Imagine if you were going to shotgun that hunter right there and he performed a spin dodge on you and got the advantage by spin dodging and engaged you. It's pretty nutty, right? Now, how do we go about doing this? For my mouse and keyboard players, it's pretty simple to do this. When you activate your dodge, you want to move your mouse left and right as quickly as possible, thus allowing your character to have an erratic movement just as we witnessed. But for my controller players, it's the same concept, but with the camera thumbstick. For those who don't know, the camera thumbstick is the one you aim your weapon with. Now, depending on how high your DPI is and the amount of desk space you have available for you, is what really determines on how hard you can spin dodge. Remember that this tactic is great for up close engagements. If you're trying it from far away, you might not be so successful, but if you can perfect this movement, you will be breaking ankles in no time. In a previous statement I made in this video, I talked about attacking from the air as one of the biggest advantages hunters have on their side. Top tier players know when to go to the air and how to attack. So how does one go about attacking from the air? When you see an enemy running at you, and I mean straight up beelining you, one of the best techniques you can do is dodge and go straight up. With strafe jump active, this will allow you to break line of sight and give you the advantage. In the past, I've mentioned this plenty of times that it is difficult for players to track an enemy when they go straight up in the air. It's even harder for that person to aim up and track that critical spot from that angle. From underneath a guardian, it's hard to track the critical spot. What really makes this tactic so successful is your initial dodge. Your enemy now will have to track you since you activated your dodge on them. After that, you want to activate your strafe jump in either an upwards motion or create distance between you and your enemy. When creating distance between you and your enemy, activating your strafe jump after a dodge is a great way to break line of sight and extend your reach. This is especially handy when you're in the face of an enemy who has a shotgun. By dodging, creating distance, you can easily clean them up without having the threat of a shotgun in your face. So remember, if you have a shotgun player closing the gap on you, dodge, strafe jump, create a gap between you two, get the easy kill. Now moving on into our last tactic, this isn't anything new. We're going to be talking about baiting your enemies through doorways. This tactic is more about timing than it is about how high you can jump and for how long. One of the best ways to do this is having your enemy overcommit to engage in you. I mentioned in a previous segment that players tend to get tunnel vision when they see an enemy that is taking damage. Now, how does one begin the doorway bait? One thing that top players do is have an enemy chase them through a doorway. Once you pass the doorway and now you have clearance to jump up, you need to determine how far your enemy is from passing that same doorway you just passed. If they are close to passing that doorway, then it's time to use the basic jump, then follow it up with a strafe jump. If done properly, you're probably going to be on top of your enemy and you'll have a chance to land on them with an easy shotgun kill. If they are far away from passing the doorway, they're a couple meters away, then you need to stay out of sight and wait till they start creeping up to the entrance of the doorway. Again, this is a hard one to master, but if you do it right, this is one of the best tactics to use against enemies. I use this all the time, guys, in quick play, comp, trials, everything, name it. And one of the hardest things to do is timing, guys. Landing the perfect timing on this tactic right here is difficult, but it can be done. Baiting enemies through doorways and entrances is nice, but it's a tactic that can go wrong almost instantly. Imagine if you attempt to bait an enemy through a doorway and you land right before they exit. Well, you're right next to them. What do? Simple, plan B, which is the air attack move. You use your shade, you create distance with the strafe jump and re-engage. Even if this goes wrong, you land next to him, you time it wrong, create distance, use the air attack, bounce back, shade, and create distance. So how do we set this one up again? Simple. You jump up, you use your first jump to get over the doorway. As soon as you exit the doorway, you activate your first jump. As soon as your enemy gets a little bit closer, you activate your strafe jump. You're going to be over the doorway and wait for them to pass out. Not literally pass out, but as soon as they exit the doorway, you will have the opportunity to hit them from the air. Boom. You just mastered the bait. All right, that didn't come out right. I mean, you're the baiting master. Again, that doesn't sound right. You door baited exactly. That doesn't even sound right either. Whatever it is, guys, master this technique. It's one of the best techniques you can master. And with that, that is the entire list of advanced hunter movements. If you're looking for more breakdowns and PvP tips, the videos on screen are great starting points for anyone looking to improve. If you're looking to improve your communication in PvP, I break down the best tips to help players master communication in a team setting. In the other video, we have several tips on how to raise your KD in the Crucible. In that video, we break down some of the best offensive and defensive tactics you can use in the Crucible. Remember, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button for more. Also, click that bell to get notified when I post videos, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. With that, you enjoy the rest of your day.